Traveling can be one of the most fulfilling experiences in life. It can allow us to make new memories, friends, learn about new cultures, and develop a deeper understanding of the world. Notion is one of the best tools for travel planning and journaling because of its all-in-one capabilities. In this video, we wanted to show you a template tour and tutorial of our premium and AI ultimate travel journal and planner Notion templates. It includes everything from travel research, trip planning, expenses, languages, journaling, and more. If you find this useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's first start with an overview of this template. So in this dashboard on the home page, when you first open up the Ultimate Travel Planner and Journal premium version, you'll notice that there's a collection of destinations, and these are just all of the cities that you've logged into your travel journal, and it shows your upcoming, bucket list, visited, and view all. Underneath there is all of your trips that you've taken, and you can see them by type and in your travel calendar. And if we go to the left, you'll notice a navigation bar, and this is centralized so you can access this on any page inside here and return home easily. And there's also a spot to embed your Google map for your current location. And then under here, we have our databases, and these are just here so that the databases are stored, but we recommend you not to access this or delete this because it could actually mess up the entire template. So to get started with using this template, the first thing we recommend you to do is add your countries and cities. So if we go over to countries and cities page here, you'll see all of your countries divided by region and then all of your cities below. And we recommend you to add the country first and then add your cities through them so that you can make sure that everything is connected correctly. So first, let's go ahead and add a country. So let's say that we're really interested in traveling to Japan soon. So we can click plus add country. And we're going to go ahead and type Japan. And let's go ahead and add an icon by clicking plus add icon. And we can just find the flag for Japan here like this. And you can also add a cover photo, and we like to go to change cover on Splash, and then you can just search for the country here and choose the picture that you want. So we'll just go with this picture. And next you can add languages. So languages are also another database, and so if you click here and you notice that it doesn't exist here, so let's search for Japanese. We don't see any Japanese here, so we actually have to add this to languages. So we're going to go ahead and click plus new Japanese. And now we've added a language, and we can edit this specific page later, but for now we're going to keep it like this. Next, you can fill in the currency. So Japan uses yen, so we can put yen, and let's change the color to green. And these items are all optional, but basically if you want population information, you could add how many people are in Japan, as well as time zones, so you can easily check what time it is in these countries. And you can also put the region. So the region is actually very important. So this we highly recommend you to add. So this will put Asia so that it shows up inside Asia. And then the next thing you can do is add a country summary. So any information about the country that you want that best describes it, you can put it in here. For example, you can simply paste in Wikipedia, some brief snippet in here. Then underneath the country, you have cities. So ideally, you want to add your cities through the country. So now let's say that we're actually interested in going to Tokyo. So we're going to put the city of Tokyo here. And once you add it in, it's going to already load this pre-filled template inside. And then you can put your status. So this Tokyo trip is going to be upcoming. So we're going to put upcoming. And let's also go ahead and add a cover photo for this as well with the same thing we used before. So on Splash, and then we type for Tokyo. And we can put, for example, this one, like this with the Tokyo Tower. Here you would see the trips that are connected to Tokyo, and we're going to leave this blank for now, as well as languages. So some cities have different languages, so we wanted to keep the cities and the countries separate in terms of that. So here you can now find Japanese, so make sure to tag it with the correct language. And once you do that, you'll see it here inside languages. So it's very important. Search here first if the language exists, and then you'll see it pop up inside of here. Here you can add your weather and map, and we'll go over this at the end of this video because it uses indify.co to add a weather widget as well as embedding Google Maps. And next you can see all of your trips relating to Tokyo. And again, for trips, we recommend adding it outside of here, but you can also add it inside of here as well if you're only going to Tokyo, for example. Then we also have sections for travel research and saved locations. So these are just meant to sort of have a place for you to add information prior to visiting that city. So let's say that we have some important articles we found about Tokyo that we'd like to add inside of travel research. So then we could just click plus new inside of here, and we can link it and we can show what kind of article this is. So let's go ahead and add something here. So we found an article about the best cafes in Tokyo, and we're going to put the link to that like this so that you can easily click this timeout link. And the source is going to be article, and the tag is going to be food and drink. So now if we go back to Tokyo, you'll see your travel research here, best cafes in Tokyo. And if we wanted, we can even also add a cover photo here so that it actually shows some kind of image. So we can put a Tokyo cafe, and we can just put something like this. And if we go back to Tokyo, now we can see the best cafes in Tokyo. So if you're interested in gathering articles and resources, we highly recommend doing this. And you can add more tags if you wish as well. So we just included activities, food and drink, and trip guides. So this can include anything from vlogs or anything you find that could be a travel research or resource for you. Then next are saved locations. So let's say that in Tokyo, we definitely want to go to the Skytree. So then we could add a new location. So we're going to go plus new inside here, and we'll put Skytree. And we can add a cover photo. So let's look for Skytree, and we can include a photo. And inside type, we'll put a attraction. So this hasn't been added, so we can just simply put that in gray. And then we can add the address. So we can just paste it in like this. And you can also put a Google Maps URL here if you wish, as well as any notes. So now if we go back to the city of Tokyo here in this page, you'll now see the Skytree here. And if you click by type, you'll see that this is an attraction. And you can also see your travel research and so on. So this is how we would recommend you to gather information before your trip even happens, and just keep sort of a digital resource for your own travel needs that you gather as you travel more and more, and you collect more food and drink cafes and places to stay and so on. The next page we would recommend you to go is to My Trips. And here we can add a new trip. So we're going to call this Asia Trip 2024. And the type is going to be for leisure. And we can add a duration. So let's say that we're going to go from March, and we'll stay for 2 weeks. So then make sure to add end date. So we're going to put until the 15th. And then here you have to make sure to tag everything correctly. So the city is going to be Tokyo, country is going to be Japan, and the people you're traveling with. So let's say that I'm going to be going with Anne and Sarah. So we put 2 together. And if you share this travel journal, these people can also be added, which is really useful so that you can see your combined schedule and so on. So the next thing is the travel planner. So once you have that in, now you can start specific travel planning. So let's say we go to April 1st. This is when we're going to add the calendar entry for arriving to Tokyo. And this is going to be a flight. And the city is Tokyo. And the people, so it's for both of us. And for locations, you can add anything that you've already added. So we're not going to touch here now, but later you could start searching for locations if it relates to this calendar item, and as well as a URL if you need. So now we go back to our Asia trip 2024. You'll now see this calendar item. So you can just go ahead and add a bunch of things. And if it's a time thing, let's say that On Wednesday, we're going to be meeting with a friend in Tokyo, so we could just click this open and meeting friends in Tokyo. And activity would be meeting. And the city again is Tokyo. People is both of us. And again, location, if you have the cafe already here, you can add it as well as a URL. So if we're back here, you'll see it inside. So you can just keep adding all of these things. And actually one more thing is that let's say that here we wanted to add a time, you could also do that. So let's say that we're meeting at 3 p.m. Now we have a time slot here. And if we go back, you can just see that it's at 3 p.m. And we also included a week view so that if you need, you can see a little bit better each of these items. And of course, if you open it up into full page, it's also very easy to see. The next thing we have here is a to-do list. So let's say that we still need to book flight tickets and so on. And then here could be your packing list. So make sure to bring an adapter, for example. And here we have our expense tracker, and this is designed both for your personal costs as well as your expenses if you split the costs. So if we click here and let's say that the flight tickets, and you buy the flight tickets today and the type is transportation and the amount was 1,000 and the person who bought it was individual. So in this case, we're not going to split it, so we can put no. But then let's say that we went out for dinner and we'll just put some date here. So let's say that on the 10th we had food out and this costed for both around $60 and then Anne paid for it and we could do yes. So what that does is if we now go to split cost, you can see that Anne has paid $60. So this is a really good way to track who's paid how much for what thing. And then later you could add it and divide it correctly and see how much each of you owes. And now we can also see by type. So transportation has costed total $1,000 as well as $60. So now we can see view all. And if you go to my cost, then if you're tagged as the correct person, you'll see it show up here. So we're currently logged into our company account, but let's say that if it was another dinner and now I put the organized notebook and $100 goes from food and drink like this, and it is a split cost, then we go to my cost and you can see that this person is yourself. So it works really interestingly. And if you share this page, whoever person it is that is looking at it will see their costs shown here. So the next thing is important documents. So here you can store both kinds of information, trip-specific documents and all trips. So all trip documents would be things like your passport copy, medication list, emergency contacts that are going to be the same no matter what kind of trip you take. And then trip-specific are just things like flight, ticket, PDF, and so on. So that would just be for this particular trip. And you can also put the person here. So if you're a family or you're traveling with other people and you always need to store important documents, it might be useful to tag it with the correct person. And then finally, we have our travel journal. So the travel journal is designed in a way that you can just travel and journal whenever you feel like, and it gets stored inside of this trip page. So if we click here, we can do a new travel journal entry. And let's say that this is the pre-travel journal entry. And you can put something like this. So excited for this trip. And you can put a tag. So this could be travel thoughts. And inside here, it's going to load a specific journal template. And here you can add an image. So let's say that we just want to add some image of Tokyo for some inspiration. And it's going to show up here. And when you put photos inside here, the first photo is going to become your cover photo. And you can also see it by tag. So now if we go back to our home by going the return home button, we can go back here and see everything. And let's go to upcoming. So now in upcoming, you should see your Japan trip here. And you'll also see inside here your Japan trip as well, like this. And you can see it by type and trip calendar. So if we go here, you can now see that the Asia trip is tagged like this. So the next thing we wanted to show you is each of these pages that we haven't really covered. Most of them have been added through the specific trip, but you can also access them through this handy navigation bar. So if we go to travel research, you can see all of your travel research across all of your cities and trips. So we see here the best cafes in Tokyo that we've added already. And you can also add new ones inside of here by clicking new. And you can add, for example, best restaurants in Tokyo. Put the link, make sure to add the city, and then the country gets loaded, the source, so if it was YouTube, and then a tag. So something like this you can also add through this page. Then you can also go to Travel Planner. And here is just basically an entire calendar view of your trip plans. So here we can see arriving in Tokyo, your meeting you have with your friends, and so on. And so this is different from your trip calendar. This is your specific travel planner. And you can also open it inside of Notion Calendar if you need, so that you can see it with your Google Calendar items. Then next we have our important documents, and here you can see all the documents that you might need for all of your trips. So we recommend you to keep your passport copies, medication list, emergency contacts, and so on all in here, and you'll always see it inside of your trip page. Then trip specific documents you can also find like this. So next, let's go to our travel journal. So this is going to show all of your journal entries across all of your entire trip history. So you can see that this one was from the Europe backpacking trip, but this one is from the Asia trip 2024. And you can see it by tag. So if you wanted to see all the places you visited, your travel thoughts, these are all categorized like this. Then you can also see it by trip. So here you can see all of your journals. And if you wanted to add the new journal entry, you can simply click here, plus add new journal entry to add a new entry. So let's put a sample entry here, new entry, and make sure to tag it with the correct trip. So let's say that this was for our Asia trip 2024, and you can fill that in, and it's going to show up inside of here, and you'll notice it inside here. The next thing we wanted to show you is the languages. So last time we added already here Japanese. So if we open this up, now we can actually edit this. So you can see that it's tagged by the correct country and the correct city. So this is very important to check that these are tagged correctly. Then you can take various notes, and then here you can add various phrases. So let's say that we added konnichiwa, and this means hello. So this is a beginner phrase. So like this, you can start adding vocabulary and phrases that could be useful for your travels. Next, we can go to save locations, and here you can see by city all the locations that you've saved, and you can also see it by type. So all your attractions across all cities will be shown here, as well as view all. So the next thing we wanted to show you is exactly how to add various widgets and embedding Google Maps. So let's say that we now want to add the weather and also the map for Paris here. So first you need to go to indify.co to input a weather widget. In indify.co, you do have to log in, so make sure to create an account and log in. And once you're logged in, you can add new widget by clicking plus new widget, and let's go ahead and add the weather widget. So this one is going to be Paris weather. Then you should be directed to something that looks like this, and here we can add Paris. And you can of course edit all of these things, for example, the imperial unit, number of days, and so on, but let's just take this basic weather widget and copy. Now we can go here and embed it. So let's go ahead and click here and embed link. Then the next thing we'll do is add Google Maps. So once you see the desired location you want to add, you can simply go to share and copy link. And now we can go back to our Notion and embed. And you can resize it like this so that it fits the screen better. So now you have something like this. So you can see the current weather as well as the map here. And if we click out, we can also do the same in my current location. Let's say that you're traveling right now in Paris, then you could embed this here. And we can move this a bit so that It takes a little bit less space, but it will look something like this. So if you're sharing this with your family and they want to know where you are and you travel a lot, this could be a kind of a nice feature as well. So in this next part, we wanted to show you what our AI version looks like and how to use that one. So here is our AI version, and basically it looks the same as our other premium version, but it has some AI features. So if we, for example, click inside of Paris now, you'll notice a city summary. So every time you add a new city, you can click update here, and it's going to load a city summary. So let's say that we're going to add a new city. We could click plus new city and put something like Tokyo. And we could put the country, Japan, and we have to create a new one here. So we'll just create a new country like this. And inside here, you'll notice that we'll have to update it. So now it's giving you a city summary of Tokyo. Then inside of this, you'll see that we have also the saved locations that says what are some must-visit locations in the city. So we can also generate that. So this could give you some ideas on where to visit and then actually add them to your saved locations. So let's try adding a new trip here. So we're going to add plus new, and we can open it up. And let's call this Tokyo trip 2024. We can add the type of trip. So this is for leisure. The duration is going to be from April, and we can put the end date for the 15th. The cities we're going to visit is going to be Tokyo. The country is going to be Japan. And then we can click this button to update the weather info. And if we click this a lot, you'll notice that you'll tend to see various answers. So you might have to click this multiple times to get the correct answer that you want. But here we can see that in Tokyo, Japan, the weather in April is usually mild with temperatures ranging from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. So it really helps if you make sure to title this part correctly to get the correct information here. But this could also be kind of useful if you want to know exactly what kind of temperature you might want to expect during the travel period you're going for, and depending on the cities. The next thing we've included is a travel planner here. So suggest activity ideas based on the trip locations and schedule in this list. So we can click generate. So now you can see some very nice ideas on what you could be doing in Tokyo during April. Then we can see the to-do list, packing list you can generate here as well. And then here you can generate some souvenir ideas. The next place we'll go is inside countries and cities. And in here, you can also see some AI featured. So let's say we open up South Africa. You can see country info generated by AI. So this is also really useful. And you can click this update button to see more options on what kind of summaries it generates. And then we'll go to travel research. So you can also do an AI travel research here. So let's go ahead and click this. And we're going to ask it, let's say, the top attractions to visit. And it's already going to tag it with the type. So this is AI. And we're going to click activities for this one. And the city is going to be for Tokyo. And then we just have to click generate. And if you're happy with this answer, you can go ahead and click out to save it. And if you wanted to regenerate this, you can also click update. The next place we added AI is inside of our journal entries. So if we click plus journal entry, it's going to give you some possible AI prompts. So let's go ahead and look at this. So let's say that you're on day 3 of the trip, and you can just click generate. So like this, it can give you some really great ideas on what you could journal about during your travels. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in these templates, we'll leave the links to them in the description. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you and hope to see you in the next video.